I'm upset that it made me think about Patrick Waugh. I'm upset that it made me think about Lou Lamoriello. And I'm upset that it made me think about the New York Islanders. Like, there's just nothing about this. Just hearing it, like, having all of those people in my brain, that's not a world I like to live in.
Stick talk. Stick talk. Stick talk. Stick talk. Stick talk. Stick talk. Stick talk.
And hockey.
Yes, sir.
Welcome back, everyone. This is episode 94 of Stick Talk Hockey. As always, I'm your host, Tico. This is my co-host.
I'm yours truly.
There's our producer.
Producer Jay.
And we are here with breaking news for us. It won't be by the time this comes out, but we got a lot to break down today.
Breaking news.
So, Mikko Rantanen is a Carolina Hurricane.
I didn't even know he was, like, on the market like that.
Well, like, it's funny because you look at the report from earlier this week, and there was like 7 teams in that report for Rantanen, and not a single one was the Carolina Hurricanes. Wild.
It's crazy how that happens sometimes. I feel like
Yeah.
that happened a lot last year, too, where we were like, oh, it's going to be these 4 teams,
Yeah.
no one else.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, just...
It was wild. So I'll paint you a picture, okay? I got home from work, long day, right?
Right.
I'm hanging out. Jonesy texts me this paragraph about athletes being human, right? How we don't, like, we don't always understand, or like take into consideration the human element of like travel and tough days and bad days and things like that when it comes to players playing the game.
Valid.
And I'm halfway through responding to that with a paragraph of my own in agreement. In fact, I was making an analogy to musicians, how the only real difference between like these pro athletes and ourselves is that they are uber competitive, right? And like have this level of obsession about this thing that we don't have, right?
Yeah.
But they're people.
Absolutely.
And out of nowhere, Jay just starts sending me, what?
I'm at work
Yeah.
at this time. I think I was just peeling carrots in the back.
Yeah.
Oh, this shit was crazy.
Yeah.
That's a wild where were you when moment.
I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw. I checked every letter of that Friedman tweet to make sure I was not being spoofed.
You're going through his ad handle with a fine-tooth comb.
Yes, 100%.
Where's the underscore?
Yeah. Which of these eyes is a lowercase L? Anyways, so yeah, out of the blue on a Friday night, Mikko Rantanen and Taylor Hall are going to the Carolina Hurricanes. In return, the Colorado Avalanche are getting Martin Necas, Jack Drury, a 2025 second, a 2026 fourth, all from Carolina. Chicago, obviously the third party in here with Taylor Hall going to Carolina, they get a 2025 third, which was actually originally theirs. They just get it back from Carolina, and they retain 50% of Rantanen's salary till the end of this year. Woof.
Woof indeed.
I
That's
mean,
a freaking blockbuster.
I like one of the biggest blockbusters we've seen in years, honestly. Like, it's got to be bigger than Gensel last year, right?
100%.
Definitely.
Like, for sure, right?
Without a doubt.
Mikko
for sure.
Rantanen is like one of the most underrated superstars in this league.
Absolutely. Unspoken legend.
Yeah.
Like, will go down as one of those names where never comes
Remember
up.
Mikko Rantanen?
Yeah, never comes up until the B list.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
unjustly.
For sure. So, I mean, shock all around. Carolina, what a move for them. I mean, you talk about adding a guy at the deadline. Very few teams get to add a guy like this and just tack on Taylor Hall to that, too.
Yeah, and I mean, like, Taylor Hall hasn't been looking
No.
like Taylor Hall in quite a while.
He's
But
also been a Chicago Blackhawk for quite a while.
that is true. And Taylor Hall's never been a play driver. Taylor
No.
Hall is the supplemental piece.
Yes.
Like, he was the most explosive when he was playing next to Kyle Palmieri. I wonder why.
Unbelievable.
Like,
MVP.
hey, you know what?
Hey, you know what?
He's got that heart.
Mm-hmm. He do have that heart. It's funny. Hardware is actually something I want to talk about today. Because it's so funny to me that Taylor Hall has a Hart Trophy. I mean, Colorado, how do we feel about the return here for Colorado?
I love it.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, this is a team that needs some picks.
Sure.
Could use. They've been spending them.
Yeah.
To keep the team afloat.
Mikko Rantanen, expiring UFA, right? Colorado probably doesn't have the money to give him.
No, especially with was it the Matthews contract that changed everything in his camp, or Draisaitl? Thank you. Yeah. With that Draisaitl contract, like, negotiations changed.
Yes.
It was not close anymore.
No.
And what are you gonna do? Like, we've seen this story a million times. It's like you can only pay so much to keep a guy.
Yeah.
And unless you're gonna pull the Boston and be like, we need a team friendly champ.
And when you're sitting in a wild card 2 spot with like a pretty mid year behind you, like, because like realistically, like, they've admitted to punting on this season, right?
And they should. I mean, they've had injury issues all year. At one point, they were missing their entire bottom 6.
Yes. And you know what, though? I very much respect the move of getting value for the asset rather than, like, clinging on to, like, a spare hope that maybe you can go on a run this year.
Absolutely.
And like, Martin Necas is not Mikko Rantanen, but he's no slouch.
No, I've always been big on Necas. I think that he's not necessarily, like, a superstar, but
Sure.
he's a star.
Yeah.
He's one of those players that, like, is an X factor and has to be taken note of when he's on the ice. Like, that's kind of what Colorado needs really bad right now. Like,
yeah, they definitely do, right? Like, because they have like elite talent, and then just like kind of bottom sixers.
Exactly.
And so yeah, they definitely do need more like thorough talent through the lineup.
And like discernibly solid, reliable talent, not like very streaky. Because we've seen them have talent, but it's hit and miss a lot of the time.
And like Nichushkin when he's there and things like that, right? And then Jack Drury as well. You get a center in the deal back, and then a couple picks. I mean, it's a tough situation to be in when you're going to lose the player. So I like the trade, right? Like, the word on the street tonight is that Carolina had like 3 deals on the table, like ready, prepped.
Wow.
Yeah, for JT, Pettersson, and Rantanen.
They were ready. They were just pulling a trigger tonight.
Yeah, and you know what? They pulled the right trigger, honestly.
I think so. I mean, I don't want to inherit any problems with Miller. I don't know what's going on there. I mean, you could, in theory, roll the dice and maybe have a reclamation project like PLD, but like, do you want to risk that in the situation you're in? Like,
and well, exactly, right? Like, it's go for it now.
Yeah, you're a top 3 team in the Metro. The East looks pretty damn mid from the bottom, like, what, 4 down?
Sure.
Like, anything below what's actually a playoff spot, like that whole wild card race is separated by 4 points.
Yeah. And like, Pettersson's been so this year. It's like, Rantanen, you're getting a guy who's 6th in points right now. This guy's a demon.
He's explosive.
Yeah.
And I mean, Carolina fumbled signing Gensel. I don't think they make the same mistake again.
I don't think they do either.
I think as much as they want to be tight with their wallet and emulate a Boston system, I don't think,
like, at a certain point it doesn't matter. Like, go get the cup.
Go and pay your superstars.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to win a cup, you need superstars.
Yep.
And superstars need to get paid.
Yep.
That's the only way this works. And
Absolutely.
realistically, with the cap going up again, like, you're not gonna really blink at it in a few years.
Well, and that's the only thing here, right? Is like, what if Rantanen just is saying no? Right? What if he's saying no? I want to see what this cap jump is like, and get the bag. Then you have some problems. You still got to do it.
I think they have the space though, don't they? Like they have.
They'll be able to make it work, especially with moving Martin H. It's not that his contract's crazy. I don't know what his AAV is right now, but it's not a close to what Rantanen's number will be at.
No, I'm pretty sure he's pulling like a 5 or 6.
6'5", yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Yeah, I don't know. The one part of this trade I found tough to see is Chicago getting a singular third for both Taylor Hall and 50% of Rantanen's salary.
Yeah. See, that confused me, but I think now this is just a hunch. I'm just spitballing.
Sure.
But the only time I've ever seen a team like really care about reclaiming their pick is when they intend to offer sheet someone.
Right.
So perhaps that was very known and aware.
That's very well.
Because if you know that pick means something, it's
But
not just a third.
It won't though. Right? Like that's this year's third. By the time we're in offer sheet season, the draft's already gone by.
I guess so. Yeah. Okay.
It would make more sense. Like if it was a 2026 third, that I 100% feel you.
No, definitely.
But yeah, that actually made so much sense to me for a second until I looked at that 2025 and I'm like, maybe the Chicago Blackhawks are dumb.
Maybe they just misread. Maybe they need new glasses. I do.
Yeah, you do.
My glasses fell apart on the way to the recording. I got off of the floor from my hockey game and the whole thing fell apart.
Are you wearing those under your cage?
Yeah.
Really?
Superstar.
That's wild. Because like I almost wore mine under my mask because like I got out there and couldn't see anything.
I just I straight up can't see anything.
I just feel like one puck there is gonna shatter him.
Yeah, maybe, but
as a goalie, maybe.
Yeah, I see a lot less like shots at the face, and I also have like the full Bauer bubble.
Yeah,
like
I gotta get some contacts for goal. I think
it's a wise decision.
Yeah.
I didn't know my goalie wore glasses.
Hey, there you go.
I saw him at a Royals game, and I was like, "You wear glasses?"
All right, there you go.
I never see you wear glasses. He's like, "Yeah, called contacts." Like, oh,
yeah, they got this cool new thing. It's called contacts.
I was gonna say that doesn't make sense why you let so many in. I'm kidding. Dell was a superstar tonight.
Hey, fantastic. But yeah, going back to it, I really do think like 50% of Rantanen's salary would be worth a third in itself.
Yeah, and I mean, like,
and
granted,
Taylor Hall as well.
It's a UFA, but like, maybe we're just not seeing like how little faith Chicago has in Taylor Hall at this point. Like, what's he making? 6'5"? They gave him a bag to bring in a veteran presence. You're still doing terrible. You still got vets, and he's not contributing. So, cap dump.
Yeah, $6 million per year.
Like, that's a lot of money for a dude scoring 9 goals. Like, that's
he does expire this year though. So
yeah.
I got a problem with this.
Tell me.
For the Colorado Avalanche.
Okay.
Now, like, it's hard to gauge considering it sounds like Mikko's out of there.
Yeah.
But like, you get Marty Natchez for a year and a half.
Right.
He is a UFA
after next
season.
Mm-hmm.
Jack Drury's, in my opinion, he's not really anything.
No, he's not really. No.
Like, he's like a fourth line center.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I feel like they didn't improve their future, nor did they get better
now
in like the next year and a half, to be honest.
That's so I agree with that, but like in a league where my thing for Colorado is they kind of still have enough superstar talent in Makar, McKinnon. I I guess we don't have a resolution there on Landeskog. But, like, you open up in that trade alone, how much cap space?
2.75.
I mean, maybe Colorado's not done. Like, maybe they're still pushing chips.
I'm saying, right? Like, go and even if it's not at this deadline, right? Going into an offseason with a cap bump, that's a lot of cap space for a team that does need to add if they want to get good.
100%. And I mean, I haven't looked at what the free agent market's going to look like this year. Like, this happened as I was going to my game.
Yeah.
So I haven't had a ton to look into, like, all of the logistics behind everything. But it makes sense because if you lose Rantanen now, you've sunk the whole ship. But this buys you just enough time to figure it out next year. Like, it's really just keeping the wheels on the car long enough to roll.
Yeah. I agree with that. But at the same time, like, I do see what you're saying there, Jay. Like, it's not like enough of anything. Like, it's not enough high value future assets to be like, oh, this is going to really help them in a few years. But it's also clearly a step back from Mikko Rantanen, right?
Yeah. And I don't want to downplay Marty Natchez.
Sure.
Like, he's definitely going to be a piece next year and this year. But, like, I don't know.
He's having a career year.
So the tinfoil hat time, right? Biz is the one pumping this tire. But Frank Saravalli did tweet right afterwards that, believe it or not, I have it on an impeccable source, that this is not the biggest deal going on right now.
Believe it.
So,
I totally believe it.
Are they just making room for Sid?
You know?
Why is everyone saying this?
Because Kevin Weeks posted a picture of the Pittsburgh Bridge.
Yes, he did.
After this deal happened.
Yep.
It's a pretty picture.
It's a pretty skyline in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, but Kevin Weeks is not from Pittsburgh. Kevin Weeks lives in New Jersey.
He's just enjoying the city.
You think so?
I don't know about that, Jay.
You know what I actually think is more likely?
Carlson?
Yeah, that's just kind of sad, honestly.
That blows. Like, I really hope for Colorado's sake that they did not do all of this legwork
to get Erik Karlsson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I hope to God that's not where this is going.
I hope to God it is.
Yeah, I bet you do.
I bet, dog.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, like, this is still a team that's, like, incredibly decent. Their bottom six is not great, but I mean, you can fix that pretty easily with a cap bump and an extra 3 M's on top of that.
I'm saying.
Like, I think it's just like there's water clearly pouring into the boat at this point if you're the Avs. This is just bailing some of it out so that you can live to float another day.
This is kind of like unrelated, but like I feel like that's in the bottom half of the league of second lines.
Yeah.
That is not good.
Yeah, I'm not big on Middlestat. I'm very big on Lehkonen though. Ross Colton does nothing for me, but
your boy? Oh, your boy.
My boy.
You're so Parsonen. That's my dog right there.
Yeah.
It's tough because I kind of thought, from what I heard from people, I thought Marty Natchez would be their second line center. As opposed to on McKinnon's wing.
Right.
And, like, that in itself is kind of interesting to me because, like, if he was the second line center, is Marty Natchez able to drive the play playing with Ross Colton
and
Artturi Lehkonen instead of, like, Seth Jarvis?
Right. It's a good question. We'll find out the answer, I suppose. How do y'all feel about Kokoniemi having probably the worst 30 minutes of his life when Saravalli said he was pretty sure Kokoniemi was going back to to Colorado? Am I traded?
It's like loading a gun. No, stop. Wait, I'm doing something.
Honestly, no. Carolina, are they a wagon now?
Close to.
I'm happy we got this pre-deadline because I'm happy to get some time to watch this group over the next few weeks.
I mean, like, I will also say that I'm a big believer in adding before the deadline.
Me too.
A stat came out last year, and I wish I wrote it down. But it was a list of players traded at the deadline and that team winning the cup. And it only happened once in like a decade plus. And that's pretty damning.
I think we're going to do a segment on this at the deadline.
I'd like to do a deeper dive into this
because
so.
it's usually not like blockbusters. But when we started pulling up this, there's deadline ads. There's a lot of cup winning teams with deadline ads.
They're not like the splash.
Yeah.
Like the biggest.
Not the Gensel to Carolina last year, things like that.
They're like solid.
Yeah.
Solid ass ads. Like
Vladimir Tarasenko for Florida last year.
Yeah, see, like, those things make sense. I think the stats I was looking at was like players that were like over $8 million or something. It was like a very particular stat where it was like, it don't work.
Yeah, around the deadline, we'll go through that because I do want to see if we can draw some like real hard parallels to like what additions help teams win cups.
Yeah, and what works. Yeah,
Exactly.
I'd like to pull some advanced analytics on this. I just have not had time to dig into this today.
I'll be there.
Jay, can you pull up the screenshot you sent me and read that out of the Rantanen, McKinnon, Landeskog stat? Okay. So yeah, Jay actually sent me this from Bar Down, from @Kotzigan on X. If you would have told me the day after the Avs won the Stanley Cup that McKinnon, Rantanen, and Landeskog would never play another game together, ain't that something?
What's crazy about that line, like reading those three names together, is that line strikes as much fear into my soul as the new Carolina first line.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that is a terrifying first line.
Yeah.
When you have Aho, Svech, and Rantanen.
Yeah, it was electric. It's I can't believe that we haven't seen those three play together since they won the cup.
I miss Landeskog.
Yeah, me too.
Like, you know, not to sound like Jeff Merrick here, but arguably one of my favorite players to watch.
Yeah, 100%.
So silky smooth. Skill is through the roof.
What's she like about that, Jay?
There's just this comment that just said the Neil Pionk effect for no reason.
All right.
Right on.
Yeah, no, Gabriel Landeskog, what a player. It is really a shame, and it does kind of feel, regardless of how you feel about the return, it's like this is the end of the cup-winning Avs era, in a sense. Like that cup-winning Avs era, right?
Yeah, they're in that retool, regauge kind of
shuffle the deck thing.
Exactly. And another part of this deal that I wonder about is how much Landeskog's health actually played into the decision being made. Because, like 3 months ago, we were rumored to have him back around the holidays.
Sure.
2 months ago, it was, maybe it's going to be later. And then, a month ago, they were like, he will play this year.
Yeah.
Probably after trade deadline.
Yeah.
Like, of course he will. But, like,
yeah,
Logan Couture is in the same boat where, like, he's had knee issues for a year and a half straight. He was supposed to be back. Like, he was in training camp this summer.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be back for game 1, and he still hasn't touched the ice. So, like,
I mean, and we've seen it a lot, this kind of tough unofficial retire. I mean, Jonathan Toews says he's coming back next year. He's not. I'm sorry.
I mean, if Phil Kessel can't land a job, I really doubt that a dude who went and probably chuffed just like the most insane weed and was going on ayahuasca trips like crazy, on his soul quest. Like, I don't think that
I know,
conditioning's
it's
gonna
not
be
coming
there.
back.
I'm
No.
really happy you went
Oh yeah.
to like a different culture, a different scene, and regained your health. Because
Yeah.
apparently, like the stories I
Absolutely.
was hearing about him,
Yeah.
were concerning. He was
Of cour-
swelling
yeah.
up from drinking water.
Yeah. Yeah. That's not typically. That's a bad sign.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Newsflash: you need that to live.
Yeah. Yeah.
Could you imagine drinking water and like your whole face just
Just
swells
having a
up?
reaction.
Just like-
No, thank you. No, 100%. Very happy for the person, but I mean, come on now.
Get real.
Yeah.
You know who's rumored to be in on Taze as well, which is just like giggle worthy in itself? Because of
Who?
course they are.
Whom?
The Winnipeg Jets.
Yeah. Now that's not a shocker. to
Right?
me. Did you say Edmonton there, Jay?
Yeah, like I just thought Stan Bowman, but
Yeah, that would
yeah.
be a very Edmonton thing. Speaking of Edmonton, are we settled on this Rantanen thing for now?
Yeah, I really want to see them play.
Yeah, me too.
I'm,
Exciting. I'm very happy that we got a blockbuster. It's awesome. I just love when it happens.
Absolutely. I think it's great for the game. It's great for content. It's great for us as media.
Yeah.
I'm more curious about how Taylor Hall fits into this lineup
Me too.
long term than Rantanen. I know Rantanen is going to be a plug and play instant smash.
Of course.
But Taylor Hall is going to be very interesting.
Yeah.
Because if he gets power play 2 at all, you might see some resurgence there. It might actually be that like depth add that you don't really account for
Right.
that takes it all the way.
Absolutely, it could be. Jay, you got anything on the all-in aspect?
I do. You know, like we were just talking about how that big three, if you want to call it that,
Mm-hmm.
never played again.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's just it's insane.
Yeah.
Because like obviously it's insane that they've never played again.
Sure.
But like in the moment in 2022, like you think about the Colorado Avalanche, you got McKinnon, you got Makar, you got Rantanen,
Mm-hmm.
stacked lineup.
Stacked.
Like you're set for years,
So you thought.
and it's pretty much over.
Yeah.
Just 2 years later.
Yeah.
It's just like it's really fortunate that they went all in that year.
Mm.
They lost their elite goaltending too. Like this has been forming for a while.
That's true. And then like, but that's also like again though, like you like
can
they
just happen.
capitalized on the 1 year that they had
Right.
that goaltending. And like I was saying in the group chat, how like my mindset has kind of shifted on like the aspect of going all in. I see the vision
Yeah, you
of
think
going
you should?
all in.
Yeah.
Last couple weeks, I've been like hesitant on like the Devils going all in because like their future's great.
Right.
They're ready, like they're stacked, whatever.
Which, yeah, I guess you could have said about Colorado then.
But like I don't know.
Yeah, you have the sauce right now. Who knows what's gonna happen? Who knows what's gonna happen to Gabriel Landeskog? Right? Like
Who knows what happens to Jack Hughes' shoulder?
that's what I'm saying,
Yeah,
right?
Bros
Like
had
that's
surgery
exactly my
twice.
point, right? Like you can never plan for Jack Hughes to become Gabriel Landeskog. God forbid, right? Like obviously.
Yeah.
But
Knock on wood.
yeah, like I feel you.
Like
It-
Markstrom could just fall off a cliff next year, and the Devils could never figure out their goaltending for like the next 5 years.
Right.
And then like poof.
Yeah.
They're
Push.
cooked.
Push when you can.
Now's the
Because
time. Sidney Crosby to the New Jersey Devils confirmed.
I'd actually hate that. I'd never want to see
Yeah, okay,
Sidney
then.
Crosby wear
What?
red. It feels sacrilegious.
Okay, in that regard. I thought you were gonna be on some like
No.
we
I-
need play drivers.
No. Don't get me wrong. I would love to have a Sidney Crosby caliber player
yeah,
on my
yeah,
team.
yeah.
It's just it feels sacrilegious to see him in red.
In red.
I don't know why. I'd hate him in the Habs. I'd hate him like in Carolina. It just Sidney Crosby wearing red that's not Canada. bugs the
Sure.
shit out of me.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I feel that.
He's like our national. Like
We will see
Crosby
him
in
in
red is the national icon. He's the pinnacle. You know.
Yeah. 2 weeks. We
It's
will
like-
see Sidney Crosby in red again.
It's like Gretzky in red. It's special.
It is. Okay.
know?
I get that. Yeah. He never wore red, did he?
No.
What was his career arc? Edmonton, L.A., St. Louis, New York. Yeah. Wow. What do you know?
Whole lot of blue.
Whole lot of blue. Playoffs? We're talking about playoffs? You bet we are. Get in on the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Scoring touchdowns is key to winning in the playoffs, and you can score big by betting on them at DraftKings, the #1 place to bet touchdowns. Ready to place your first bet? Try betting on something simple like a player to score 6. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app and make your pick. 2 teams left. The Kansas City Chiefs -130 on the money line. The Philadelphia Eagles +110 on the money line. Get your picks in at DraftKings Sportsbook. New DraftKings customers can bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THPN. That's code THPN for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in New Hampshire, Oregon, and Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/ftball. NFL Plus Premium offer available only to new and former NFL Plus subscribers. Additional NFL Plus Premium terms at nfl.com/terms.
Speaking of Edmonton, can we move on?
Yes. Let's tuck this one behind us, and we'll go back over it next week.
So Tyler Myers and Connor McDavid both get 3-game suspensions, right?
Yep.
Now, first of all, we were talking about hardware earlier. I just want to note only one of those 2 players is a Calder winner. Anyways, so Edmonton fans have been losing their minds all week about it, and saying things like, "Oh, Connor Garland revenge game" when they played the next time and stuff. And I just didn't understand the anger and the outrage over the suspension for either player. Was that not pretty textbook to y'all?
Yeah. I mean, cross-check to the face starts at 2 now. That's just an
yeah.
undeniable 2. And, the thing that really befuddled me about the whole thing was not so much people getting mad about their star player getting suspended 3 games or what have you. It was the anger at the league because everyone wanted to see them fight. And it's like, can we grow up for 1 second and use some critical thinking? 1, if there was a fight in that game, do you really think Connor McDavid's going to instigate that?
Yeah.
What?
Is he gonna fight Connor Garland?
Yeah, come on, get real.
Yeah.
2, if you're the NHL, what, you're gonna risk your star player, the face of your league, getting absolutely blindside bodied because the game gets nasty?
Yeah.
What, Connor Garland eats a couple cross checks, maybe gets a bad hit. Now McDavid's got a label on him.
Yeah.
Then he gets hit, he gets hurt. Now he's out for the
absolutely.
playoffs.
So it starts with the refs in the game originally, right? They got to be cuz Connor Garland's original play there is a penalty. They should have given him 2 minutes and this would have never started to begin with. But that's exactly why that needs to happen, right? You need to stop the thing from becoming suspension worthy. And then once it's suspension worthy, you have to stop that from being a thing in the next time. Right? Granted, I have maybe some bias here and some memory as a Canucks fan, but I remember when someone didn't get suspended, and then Todd Bertuzzi went and broke that someone's neck the next game.
Yep.
And you don't want that.
No, especially with such a high-profile player. I mean, the
Absolutely.
Bertuzzi incident, tragic in itself.
Yeah, more.
But those are
that's
fourth-line goons. At the end of the day, they weren't and
it started though because more hit Naslund high, one of their stars. It started similarly to I'm not saying Marcus Naslund's Connor McDavid, but similarly, right?
Yeah, it's a star player. You protect your star player. That's the culture we've all grown up in and like accept in our day-to-day lives in hockey. So I mean, like,
you don't want Connor McDavid's neck broken, but you also don't want Connor Garland's neck broken.
no, and you even like lightest case scenario, what? One of them breaks their hand in a fight or gets a knee on knee, like
Yeah.
that's like I cannot stress how much playoff revenue is at stake
Yes.
if Connor McDavid gets hurt in this Connor McDavid revenge game. Grow up.
Yeah, grow up.
Like,
yeah.
Use your business brain for 1 second. It's not about you. It's never
Don't
been about you.
Like, don't even use your business brain. Use your people brain. Like,
Just be logical.
yeah, just use any part of your brain.
honestly, like, yeah.
I had absolutely zero qualms with it. I thought it was insane, the discourse around it.
Yeah, when I saw Biz going off about this is why the league's boring and this and that and da-da-da, I was like, okay, this is the hill you chose to plant your flag in? Really?
Well, and like, we're no stranger to calling out the NHL, and I understand the notion that people want more reason to watch regular season hockey. I get that. Putting players' safety in danger is not the way. Like, you know?
Yeah, I mean, like, it's literally DOPS, Department of Player Safety.
Yeah.
Like,
Spin the
player
wheel.
safety. What, they're just going to throw them to the Wolves? Yeah, you both get a game and figure it out.
Yeah.
No.
So, my partner Carly, she's a halfway Edmonton fan. She's like a little bit of an Edmonton fan because her dad was an Edmonton fan. A little bit of a Devils fan because of the Hughes connection. And a big Canucks fan. Now, she texted me this week. We were working, and she texted me while the Canucks are getting pumped 5-1 by the Oilers in the revenge game, and says, "I need you to tell Trill I'm on board with the Devils."
Let's go.
Hopping on the bandwagon, and I did. I texted you that. And then she gets home and she goes, "Okay, so who's on the Devils?" And the audible yelp of excitement when I said Jacob Markstrom was phenomenal, followed by the immediate wave of sadness when I said he just sprained his MCL.
Yeah, he just got his leg turned inside out. He won't be playing for 4 to 6 weeks, and that is tough.
And that's the news right there. Jacob Markstrom.
Ah.
Very, very tough to see. Thankfully, 4 to 6 weeks is kind of ideal. Not if you're gearing up for a cup run, honestly, not the worst thing to have this guy not starting in Sweden. Or for Sweden, I should say.
I don't want him to in the first place. I honestly don't like the whole Four Nations thing being placed where it is.
I don't hate that.
Like, I get that it's a substitute for the All-Star game and you need something to make you some money, but
Well, and it takes place at the same time as the actual Olympics will.
I just hate this.
I think in particular, I think for most players it'll be fine. I think just in particular goaltenders, especially goaltenders that are starting goaltenders who play a lot, you don't want them playing more games in a side tournament, right?
See, that's my thing, is I would much rather see this happen in, like, the end of the season, once everything's said and done, like how you see
in July.
Yeah, like how you see Spangler Cup being done, you know?
But nobody has ever cared about the Spangler Cup. Please correct me if I'm wrong, listeners. But honestly, y'all ever watch the Spangler Cup?
No. Unless I was forced to. Unless I was up super early.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't know. Are you really going to carve out that much of your schedule to watch every one of these games? Like,
biased, but yes.
I guess. I could give a less about Sweden and USA facing off. Like,
Really?
I don't care.
Wow.
What was that tournament called? And it was in 2017. And it was before the season started.
The World Cup of Hockey?
Yeah.
That was gas.
See, like, I kind of see the vision on what Trill's saying. Like, because that started like I said before the season.
Yeah.
Like just before it started.
Yeah.
So I kind of like that could have been the move.
Yeah, that definitely could have been the move. Like I don't like love the placement of it, but I
don't have a problem with it.
I don't really have a problem with it either. Yeah.
I just don't like it as someone who like has a goalie that was going to be playing in it. It's like the dude's already going to be on the edge of kissing 60 starts.
Yeah.
Do we really need to give him 4 more? Do we?
I mean, but that's like on the Devils, especially a Devils team that has such a competent backup. Like Jake Allen's a good goalie.
He is a good goalie. He's
Play
been
him.
bad lately,
I know
though.
he has, but whatever.
I mean, I have faith in Jake Allen.
Me
I
too.
will say that. Like,
Me too.
I think that his lack of performance has been a lot more to do with the fact that he's on the bench a lot more.
Than last year for sure.
Yeah, than it actually has to do with the fact that he's losing it.
Yeah, no. Jake Allen is a competent NHL goaltender. Just no two ways about it.
Absolutely.
So Samuel Ersson is going to be replacing Markstrom at the Four Nations tournament for Team Sweden. That is pretty tough for Sweden, obviously. Jacob Markstrom's been fantastic this year. William Karlsson also may miss the entire tournament due to a lingering injury. That's pretty tough for the Swedish team. Obviously, good for the teams involved, right? Vegas doesn't want this guy there with a lingering injury, and neither does New Jersey. But tough to see for Sweden, a team that's going to be probably pretty fun to watch. I mean, all of these teams are going to be fun to watch. You know, I've talked. I don't need to get too Canucksy yet again, but Miller versus Pettersson will be really something.
You know, it would be thrilling to just watch a Miller Pettersson hit.
You telling me all eyes won't be on those games, the U.S. Sweden games for that?
Yeah. See, the only thing that really stirs like an interest in me is watching players play against and with each other that
Yeah.
typically don't.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But I still just like it's bragging rights in the middle of the season. Like who cares? Win a Stanley Cup. I don't care.
I've seen Crosby win a Stanley Cup.
It has no effect on me whether
Okay.
Canada finishes first or fourth, and I will care just as much either way.
Yeah, but the hockey's gonna be good.
It'll be great to watch. Don't get me wrong. It's just
Okay.
meaningless. And like
But like that's called. All of it's meaningless.
not if you put it before the season. Like
I don't
just,
think the timing changes the meaning of it at all.
I'm just I don't know. I just really am not thrilled on like the spacing in the schedule and where it sits. Like it just feels weird to be like, okay, yeah, and like break time.
But okay, I don't disagree. But like we've seen it many times before with the Olympics. Like this isn't a new thing.
But the Olympics I can make an exception for. The Olympics is the Olympics. It's
But
special
it's
and it
meaningless
only,
the same way, right?
But
No?
it happens only like once every 4 years.
Okay.
And like it matters.
But like I feel like you're just arbitrarily putting an "it matters" on it.
Well, it's on the global stage. It's like recognized as the global tournament to decide who is the best at that sport. Whereas like this is an in-house tournament
Mhm.
that's also not even like truly representing the nations involved because like
Why not?
is Sweden hockey involved in this or like
No, but all of Sweden's best players are in the NHL.
Okay, yeah, but like did they get selected through a Swedish selection committee? Did they go to a Swedish training camp? Did they they have
literally
like a
couldn't even remotely care less. I don't know what to tell you. The best players from those countries are on this team. It's best on best hockey. We haven't gotten it in 10 years.
And don't
I
get me
can't not be hyped for it.
like I'm very excited for that, but just like
Yeah.
the idea of it being about a self-imposed title of who's the best in the world, it's like you know?
I see it as like the regular season version of the Olympics.
Yeah.
Because aren't the Olympics next year?
Yeah.
Like I honestly I feel like it's just like the pregame for the Olympics.
Pre-Olympics.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that. I'd rather watch that than a Spengler Cup any day of the week.
Yeah, I mean, Spangler Cup and this is a very different ballgame in itself. It was just the first example I could even think of.
It's literally like the third best hockey tournament I could possibly think of.
Yeah, I'm very
Like,
thrilled.
in the world.
Like, I'm very thrilled to watch the hockey.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
It's just that, like, I could care less about the results and, you know?
You tweaking.
The only thing I value out of this is that we get an extra week for Markstrom to heal up before we have to keep playing.
It's a beautiful thing to get. It really is.
I mean, that's a blessing, but
You know what my beef is with the Four Nations? The announcement that the merchandise for it goes on sale 4 days before the tournament starts.
oh, brother.
Like NHL, like I got this note in here that says once again creating a fun, money making idea and then just refusing to capitalize on monetizing it. Like, why? Why are you not selling Team Canada McDavid jerseys right now? What are you talking about?
Why did you do a deal with Fanatics if you're still just going to be like forcing jerseys out late? This is something that should have been dealt with like months ago.
What are we doing right? Like, what are we doing right now?
And the jerseys should have been available on the day it was announced, on release day.
Why not? Why would you not?
We know what they look like. What are you protecting?
It's actually insane to me.
I
get it. I don't understand how this type of manufacturing works, but like there's no way that was the earliest date these could go on sale.
In my very brief time working in a hockey office, I could tell you that most things that don't get done on time probably should have been done on time, but just weren't taken serious enough by whoever was spearheading it.
Mm-hmm.
This is the NHL.
It's the best league in the world.
Allegedly. But we can't even get jerseys out until 4 days before a tournament? That's insane.
Yeah.
The Olympics do better.
Yes, the IOC, noted well-run organization, does better than the NHL at that. That's crazy.
Like, that's actually crazy. The Olympics, like, as much as it drives revenue, like, jersey sales are not even remotely close to one of their breadwinners.
No.
But they still put enough effort and care into it to do it properly and get it out in time. So, like, what are we doing here?
Factual statements.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
Moving on.
2 more things on the docket here. First up, Ovechkin watch 20 goals away from history for the grade 8 now.
Da-na-na-na-na-na.
Ain't that beautiful? Do you think he gets it done this year?
Yes. Yeah, I do.
Jay?
Yeah.
Wow.
They got like let's see how many games.
Yeah, let's see how many they got left.
This is the team of destiny. I'm buying it.
Now, I would love that. I would love if this was a team of destiny. They have 34 games to go. He needs 20 goals.
They have no regulation losses in their last 10. They're on a 6-game heater. They have a goal differential of plus 54. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, even with their form dropping as of late, they're still picking up points. It's unreal.
Absolutely unbelievable. Like, 8-0-2 is crazy.
You two got me hyped up. He'll do it. I want to see it. Like, honestly, like, it's one of those things where it's just Ovi. Like, as much as it's not actually that many games to get that many goals, like 2 hat tricks and he's confirming it.
He's gonna get a nice, solid break
Yeah, that's huge.
as well.
Yeah, that 2-week break will be big for him.
And he gets to play the Penguins when he comes back. So
Well, and I mean, like, come on now. The most competitive, arguably one of, if not the most competitive players in the game, not being allowed to play in a best-on-best tournament.
Yeah. Some fire there.
That man's going to come back with some heat.
I hope so.
I
I really
can
hope so.
only imagine him sitting at home on his couch going, "This is best?"
His quote when they asked him about the McDavid suspension, and he was like, "Bad for them, good for us." I love that quote so much. Unbelievable.
That's amazing. Oh, my God.
So last thing, Tony DeAngelo
Oh, my God. Speaking of Russians.
gets booted out of the KHL, apparently.
You're going to have to censor this one, but allegedly just telling his coaches to fuck off too
Yep.
much, which is incredible.
It's fantastic.
I don't even question it for a second. I believe that report
Absolutely.
wholeheartedly.
And Patrick Waugh decides to give him a 1-year deal. Patrick Waugh and Lou Lamoriello decide Tony DeAngelo is going to be a good fit here. How many games till Elon Musk throws his heart to the crowd?
Not that long. Not that long. This is a man who, like, what was it, like a month ago or 2 months ago? He was going off after Trump won
Mhm.
and was like going on about this is why I don't play the NHL, da 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 da, woe is me, blah.
Gets a
And-
contract put in front of him.
And what's funny is an analyst, I forget who it was, but they replied to him.
Yeah.
And was like, I'm pretty sure that that's not the reason why you're
I'm
not
pretty sure
playing
that
right
was
now.
Dom Lucian, yeah.
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 Incredible reply. I went to Google Translate
Mm.
to find out how to say "shut up, Tony" in Russian.
Nice. And you replied to that.
And I replied with that. And then Instagram took it a step further because I was curious and hit the little translate button on
Yeah.
it. And said, "Shut the fuck up, Tony." Instagram
Even
said,
better.
"Hold my beer.
Yeah, let's make that even more.
I got this. Let's put some spice on that."
No, I really didn't miss hearing about Tony DeAngelo.
I'm over it already.
Yeah, so I don't know. I hope him and Patrick Waugh like getting a death match at center ice or something. That would be great. That'd be a great cap to this season.
I hope I hope Bo Horvat punches him in the face.
Yeah, I'm also
Like,
I'm also just like upset that the NHL, well, this story made me think about Tony DeAngelo. I'm upset that it made me think about Patrick Waugh. I'm upset that it made me think about Lou Lamoriello. And I'm upset that it made me think about the New York Islanders. Like, there's just nothing about this. Just hearing it, like having all of those people in my brain, that's not a world I like to live in.
no. The only redeeming quality of this story is it's not going to work.
Yeah, so that's a beautiful thing.
And I so desperately crave watching the downfall of Lou at this point.
Yeah.
I'm thankful for his time in New Jersey. I'm thankful for
course.
what he did for us.
Of course.
But this man needs to get the hell out of the game.
Yeah.
It's been too long.
I'm going to make the thumbnail that picture of him with Anthony Duclair's braids.
Put him in front of a Russian flag too.
Yeah. All right. We got anything else, y'all?
Nah. Jay, you got anything interesting?
Nah.
Well, this was
No.
fun. I'm very happy that we didn't that we were here for the story this time.
Yeah.
It didn't break 2 hours after we left the show. Monkey's paws curling right now as Crosby's about to get traded, but but I'm glad we're here to talk about this ranting thing. This has been a blast. Yeah. You guys rock.
Yeah. Thank you for tuning in. As always, keep your head up.
Keep your head up.
Boom.
Boom.
Stick talk. 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 Stick talk.